reading it for the first time it was really powerful. And I love that you've put it in such a uniquely beautiful Australian space. The one thing that I found really inspiring straight away is that connection to land. And I think that's like something that's really, really important to the First Nations people of this country. But also, I think most Australians have that yearning or feel that connection. And I really wanted to create a space that made you feel as though you were accessing the bush.
It feels really expansive. Like it feels like it kind of feels bigger than it is. And it's kind of got that idea of like particularly for the audience and for the main character Joan, it's got this like kind of mystery and you know.
The expanse of the outback or the bush here is so unique. But we're all obviously in a theatre and a very unique theatre. The Billy Brown is a corner. And so how do you create that sense of the expanse in that space? And that was really the starting point for the design. And through conversations with Lee and Arnie Rocks, we came up with this idea of using the imagery of a topographic map. The idea for the set is that Mick's house, which is a weatherboard house, like a classic country house, somewhat inspired by the homes we saw in Gadooga on our trip down there. The lines of that house kind of explode out onto the walls and then create the lines of a topographic map. So the whole space physically is a representation of land. You know, this town that we go to, we don't know where it is. It could be Red Desert, it could be, you know, up north. And the audiences are allowed to imagine that space for them. For me, I know it would be like down the Great Ocean Road, that part of Victoria.
Oh, the road trip.
So Hannah and I caught up. We were actually having a meeting with David, the lighting designer, and I quite flippantly said that I had been planning to go down to Gadooga, which is where Hannah's family is from, to check it out, to just do a bit of more research and inspiration for the show.
And I was like, what?
I was just gonna drive down and drive around the town and take photos of like the houses and go to the river. And then Hannah was like,
oh, my mum and my grandma we all need to be there.
We got in Wendy's bus that's
my mum's bus.
Got this beautiful Indigenous artwork, like paint, like vinyl wrapped around the whole outside of the bus. And it was so special, like especially for myself, Arnie Rocks and David, to have locals from that area show us around and tell us their stories. We also got to go and do some boogly fishing ourselves, which was pretty amazing.
It was amazing yet unsuccessful.
We caught one.
We caught a single boogly. Oh, clarification, a boogly is like a yabby crayfish.
Oh, here's an example. The trip was completely invaluable in just like adding this layer of authenticity to the design. And I think there's like little things that we've fed into the world since then that just feel real to me, having been there. And I really hope that that reads for the audience. I hope that it brings a level of authenticity.
Yeah.